Racing to win for a Boxing Day Tuesday meeting coming up at Sha Tin. Hopefully you've been well fed and watered through the Christmas festive period and you're ready to find a few winners or two to try and fill the wallet again after purchasing plenty of presents for Christmas. Great to have your company here on Racing to Win. I'm Tom Wood and joined in the studio by Paul Lally. And Paul, Merry Christmas to you off the back of a good meeting on Saturday at Sha Tin. We're ready to go again for Tuesday.
Yeah, all set to go. Nice quick backup there for this one. So yeah, Merry Christmas to you, Tom, and everyone as well. I hope you've ate, drunk and been merry. But look, it's a good meeting though. There's a lot of first starters, so you have to do a lot of form in this race. Yeah,
there are a lot of first starters. Quite a few of them haven't raced, but there are a few raced ones later on in the program, as we saw on Saturday also.
Yeah, there are, definitely. Yeah, there's, especially on that straight 1000, there's a couple of good ones there. Zach Purdon's riding Kima, which is having his first start here in Hong Kong. And earlier on in the card, as we said, there's so many first starters. I think there's one race where 7 of the 14 races, 7 of the 14 starters are first starters.
So plenty of highlights coming up at the meeting at Sha Tin on a Tuesday afternoon. Speaking of highlights, with the year 2023 coming to a close, we're only a few days out from the turn of the new year 2024. We can look back at some of the highlights through the early part of the year as we take in the year review from January through March.
California's Bengal leads. Teton first to get busy on Romantic Warrior. Golden 60 next. He's starting to wind up and looking to get clear. California's Bengal leads. Golden 60's off his heels. Romantic Warrior can't go with them. Golden 60's taken over now. He's a length in front of California's Bengal and Romantic Warrior. And Hong Kong's horse of a generation wins the race of the decade. Golden 60.
I still believe that he's one of the the best horse in the mile, yeah, just a little bit disadvantage for Terrace horse that come from 2000 to a mile, but definitely a good horse. So yeah, we still have to respect our opponents, but yeah, of course I have to trust and believe in my horse.
Voyage Bubble though, clicked up, leads a length and a half. Keefe under pressure. Tuchel comes through the centre. Packing Treadmill wider out from Sword Point. Voyage Bubble. Tuchel's a length and a half away from Packing Treadmill. Voyage Bubble's running it strongly. Tuchel can't get him. Then Packing Treadmill. It's Voyage Bubble and Jamie Carr for the Classic Mile. Voyage Bubble beat Tuchel. Packing Treadmill and Cordyceps 6.
Speechless, really. It was a massive thrill. Unbelievable. Like, he's a tough horse. It's a long straight though, and I was sort of waiting for something just to come past me, but he was just too strong, and yeah, a bit speechless, really.
Side Success leads. He's half a length over Lucky Swain-S. Wellington's a further length away. Side Success is in front of Lucky Swain-S. Then Wellington and Super Wealthy. Lucky Swain-S took over in the Centenary Sprint Cup from Side Success and Super Wealthy. And a great season for Manfred Mann just got even better.
Yeah, obviously we didn't get it right in December, so we had to make up for it. And when you got a good horse like him, he takes care of things, so I'm happy for the horse, happy for Manfred and the connections.
Money Catcher, Romantic Warrior, he's challenging him. Golden 60 still a length away. Romantic Warrior leads Money Catcher. Slowly Golden 60's bridging the gap. Romantic Warrior, Golden 60, a neck to his outside. It's the two great horses of Hong Kong, but it's Golden 60, the greatest of Hong Kong. He beat Romantic Warrior.
Vincent, it seems evident that this win certainly means a lot to you. You're never one to show too much emotion. I mean, at the age of 7, this horse looks almost as good as he's ever been.
Yeah, to be honest, I expect the other horse would have beat us. but of course I'll just do my best on Golden 60 without hurting him too much for the Champions Mile. And if we go to Japan, so it's gonna take time to recover with him age 7 now. So I just don't want to overdo it, but doing my best to perform his best at that level. But he got a great heart, so he always trying his best, or sometimes over his own limit. So I don't want to overdo it, but doing his best, and that's it.
The bubbles burst because Sword Point's taken over from Tuchel. And here is Super Sunny Singh. Sword Point still the leader. Super Sunny Singh's coming after him. Sword Point a neck. Super Sunny Singh's cutting him down. What a day, Vincent Ho. Big win, Chris So. Super Sunny Singh.
Yeah, he just kept improving. His mentally is getting more mature as well. So now he relaxed very well. That's the main thing for the derby,
California's Bengal, 3/4 Lucky's Wayness. Courier Wonders run to third past Wellington. It's California's Bengal and Lucky's Wayness. Burton and McDonald. Wellington's come back to third. Lucky's Wayness is in front of California's Bengal and Wellington. It's McDonald. He's the man from man. Lucky's Wayness beat California's Bengal and Wellington.
Obviously, fill-in jockeys can be quite spoiled at times, and obviously Zach had a hard choice to make, and 2 exceptional horses going toe-to-toe, and thankfully we're on the right one horse today, and he gives you a lot of confidence throughout the run. He tows you into the straight and got a tremendous turn of foot with a great will to win.
Great to see some of those highlights from earlier in the calendar year, and coming up on the next couple of editions of Racing to Win, we will see parts 2 and 3 of the year in review. Paul, what was one of your highlights there? Great to see those big guns firing there, as we saw fire just a few weeks ago on International Day.
Yeah, I think that race when Golden 60 beat Romantic Warrior of California Spangle in it. They were the 3 big ones at the time, weren't they? And it was such a really good race, and it was everything that we wanted it to be. And Golden 60, so good.
Yeah, certainly was. So parts 2 and 3 of the 2023 year in review coming up on the next 2 editions of Racing to Win. Looking at the meeting details for what is coming up at Sha Tin on Tuesday afternoon for the Boxing Day Bonanza. And we've got a 10-race card. We are over a third of the way through the season already. And we're previewing races 9 and 10, the Class 3 1,000 metres and the Class 3 1,600 metres to wrap the day at 5:45. Looking at the Hoylai Handicap, Pleasant Endeavour's got Hugh Bowman. Great to have Hugh back at Sha Tin on Tuesday. He's got 3 rides. He rides just one for Ricky Yu. Heroic Master is coming down the straight for the first time. Packing Bowl is also doing the same. He was a winner 2 starts ago. Kaima is lining up for his first run. Mark Newnham and Zach Purton. He was a winner in the UK. He also raced in Australia. Summit Cheers a last start winner. Chevelle Valiant. California Touch didn't do much in his first run behind Galaxy Patch. Lucky Gore, very unlucky last time out. Some of it on his own doing. Ka-Ying Power's got the blinkers going on. Northern Beat is another horse that was desperately unlucky last time out. Solar Up is a former Kieran Ma and David Eustace trained galloper having his first run here in Hong Kong. Jolly Companion comes back from 1,000 metres. Metro Warrior and Must Go has drawn barrier 13. Hasn't done too much in 2 starts. Paul, the pace here should be good. Packing Bowl, we know Chevelle Valiant likes to go forward, and Metro Warrior is another one that is normally pretty handy.
Yeah, like he likes to sit handy as well, doesn't he? And he shouldn't be too far away. Solar Up, he's shown a little bit of pace in his trials along with Kima. They're the first starters here in Hong Kong, so they shouldn't be too far away. But Chevelle Valiant normally led by himself, but last time he didn't. And I just wonder if Packing Bowl in the race, they might just take each other on.
Well, it's looking at a very competitive race down the straight. There is a newcomer in the race. There's, in fact, a couple of newcomers, but we can hear from Mark Newnham about his galloper that's been around the world, raced to the UK, raced in Australia, and is now here in Hong Kong. That is Kaima.
Mark Newnham, now you've got a newcomer racing on the 26th by the name of Kaima, who has had a few stamps in the passport, this horse, and is now wound up in Hong Kong with you.
Yeah, look, he started off in the UK, and he was bought by Mr. Cheng to race in Sydney, and then when I got a licence here, he had a permit and decided to send him here after a couple of starts in Sydney. He ran very well his last start at Rose Hill, he ran second.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the next sort of question, really, is the fact that he was racing around Rose Hill, so he clearly is of decent standing.
Yeah, and look, he's got solid form. He's only starting off at 1,000, but since he's been here, he's been pretty sharp in his trials. So just thought it was a good starting point for him.
How happy were you with his recent trial? I mean, he's run second to Baby Crystal. You've had some of the top jockeys trialling him too.
Yeah, Zach's been happy to stick with him, so that's always a good sign. And look, the form around his trials is good. It looks, you know, he's handled the straight well in both his trials, so looks a good starting point.
And you're starting to unleash, Mark, a few newcomers, of course. Obviously, it all takes time, but this horse and others amongst them, obviously, nice to get them on the track.
Yeah, and look, that's been the key to it, is just a bit of patience, really. You know, I've got a lot of new horses in the stable, and a few of those will be coming out on Boxing Day, and a few more in January.
Let's see how he goes at his first run in Hong Kong. Of course, when he was over in the UK, he was trained by William Haggis, so good luck to connections with Kaima. Let's move on and have a look at a few of the other runners moving into this race, Paul. And Packing Bowl is one that the deep field 4-year-old, of course, won at his debut, then went right off the boil. Danny Shum put him on the Your Weather. He won over Maniac, and then he ran into Smoky Bear, who enjoys the surface last start.
He's unbeaten on it, isn't he? He's going really well, Smoky Bear. But look, this with Packing Bowl, he has trialled well down the straight 1,000 in the past. So, look, I'm going to include him. Just on a minor line, he has trialled well. I think he's going to be right in the pace and he's going to be in the right position. I think the 1,000 will suit the son of deep field.
He was just able to hang on for a second there over the final stages. Let's have a look at the next of them here, and this is Summit Cheers. We're taking you back to the start for this, and there's a bit to watch there, Paul. He's drawn over on the far side, but Lucky Gore... he's not been the best horse when it comes to barrier manners, and he played up again and did himself no favours.
He didn't, did he? And that was the key there with Lucky Gore. You can see him, he'll come hook out to the outside and finish off really strongly. So a very, very good run from Lucky Gore. Summer Chairs was a good run as well, but it's just whether he can put two together. But Lucky Gore definitely going to take out of this race. I think he was very unlucky. You can see him still last there at this stage.
The one that's also worth watching is Northern Beaches. If you backed him this day, you probably don't want to watch this because it was just a nightmare in the end. But he must be some sort of a chance. Does it concern you that Purton's off him and he's on the newcomer? Does that concern you?
Yeah, I just wonder if that was a previous booking or what that was. But the horse was unlucky, and we know that he does go well on the surface. So and down the straight 1,000. Look, I've got these two, and I think they could Cornella this race.
What about Pleasant Endeavour? He's just got to carry top weight. Bowman rides for Ricky Yu. He's normally pretty consistent course distance.
Very honest, isn't he? He's drawn 3, so he just might have to work a little bit, but you're right, he's a very honest horse.
Yep, so we're good to see Hugh Bowman back in the saddle. Another one to look at here, and this is Heroic Master. I'm not sure it was totally ideal or probably necessary to a degree to get involved in that speed battle last time out.
No, it didn't. I don't think it was at all. And look, you have to go back about 18 months for when he last trialled down the straight 1,000, and he trialled really well behind Victor the winner. So look, I'm not worried about the course at all for him. We know he goes really well down the 1,000. He's got James McDonald aboard. So he hopefully comes up a little bit of a price, so I've included him.
The form has been franked out of that as well because Explosive Witness came out and won. Just one more quick comment, Paul, on the other first starter, Solar up for Michael Chang and Matthew Chadwick. He won at Kembla Grange prior to arriving. What have you made of his 2 trials?
Look, he's just, as you say, he's just had the 2. I'm happy to watch him just to see how he goes here, but he has shown a little bit of speed in those trials.
Okay, good field down the straight for Class 3, 1,000 metres. Who makes it into your top 4?
Going to go with the 8, Lucky Gore on top. I think he was money for him last time. He's very unlucky not to win. So he's on top. Northern Beaches comes out of the same race and he was just as unlucky. So the 8 to beat 10, the Quinella for me. Heroic Master, going to put him on a third line, coming back to the straight, or coming down the straight 1,000. He has trialled well on it, as has Packing Bowl. 8, 10, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm quite keen here on Northern Beaches, who, as we saw in that vision before, was very, very unlucky last time out. So he goes on top. Northern Beaches. Kaima goes in. I think he's shown enough at the trials to run well on a debut, even though he's coming on a difficult rating of 67. Lucky Gore can be his own worst enemy at the start. He's certainly got an attitude in the gates, this horse, from time to time. So hopefully he's on his best behaviour. And Pleasant Endeavour with top weight from barrier number 3, Ricky Yu, and Hugh Bowman. He goes in for 4th. 10, 4, 8 and 1. Coming up after the break here on Racing to Win, we will preview the final event coming up at Sha Tin on this Boxing Day Tuesday. Stay with us, there's more coming up shortly. Welcome back to the Boxing Day edition of Racing to Win. Before we preview the final event, which is race number 10, we're going to bring you a last run reminder. Paul, who are we looking at this week?
Raging Blizzard. I thought Raging Blizzard in race number 8. It's going to be. He was very unlucky at his last start, so I just wanted to remind people here. You can see him slightly out of the gate, so he didn't really get the best of jumps. So he was a little bit further back than he would have liked, and then he sort of got into the midfield there. They were going reasonably quick, but he had to make that ground up in the sort of middle stages there. Then he was 3 wide after that. So you can see the race didn't go too well for him whatsoever. He's drawn barrier 1 coming up on Boxing Day. And then once he sort of got into the clear out wide here, he finished off really strongly. He's only had the limited starts. He's up against a nice youngster called Gorgeous Win in the race as well, carrying chairs in there. But just the way he finished off this race. Now, this is a very good form race. With the Galaxy Patch winning, the Air has raced well. He's been placed in all the starts in Hong Kong, and Raging Blizzard just missed third. So I do like him coming up as the last run reminder on Boxing Day.
Yep, so he's had the 3 starts for the 1 win. If you can just see past my ham-filled stomach, you can see race 8, number 10 there, which of course is Raging Blizzard. Let's have a look at the final event coming up at Sha Tin, which is the Class 3 over 1,600 metres, and Flagship Warrior won it about this time last year. He's got the blinkers going on. Simple Hedge, Accolade Start certainly improved last time out. Changing Glory shooting for 4 in a row. Harker Radiance is a newcomer. Billionaire Secret for Pierre Ung has barrier number 1. I Keep Winning is a newcomer for Benno Jung, and then you've got Jumbo Fortune, a last start winner. Let's Do It, Consistent, Beer Palace, Circuit Mighty, Red Majesty, ideally looking for 1650 at Happy Valley Pace here, Paul. How much can Chang Glory get away with in front?
Well, he has the last 3 starts. I think he can get away with a bit. Flamingo Trillion could put a bit of pressure on him. Circuit Mighty has in the past, but he went back. He didn't put any pressure on last start. Red Majesty from a wide draw might come across as well and try and get outside him. I Keep Winning, when he had his last start in Australia over 1,900 metres, he went out to a massive lead and held on, but he's gone back in his trials.
OK, so that is the speed map. Let's hear from Pierre Ung. The stable's just firing on all cylinders at the moment. More winners on Saturday. He lines up the last start winner who took a long time to win, Jumbo Fortune.
Pierre Jumbo Fortune is a horse who finally got his head in front. I imagine that must have been quite a fulfilling win for you.
Oh, definitely for the owners as well. And last run was brave, carrying the top weight in Class 4, and now he's running his mile. I think he is suitable as well.
You're running him again quick. Now, might this just be the time perhaps to catch this horse, a horse like him, once again, now that he's sort of got his head in front? Is he maybe a confidence type of horse, in your opinion?
He's starting to get more confidence from the last start, and I just hopefully when he's back up to Class 3 and he can do a little bit more, you know, to getting prize money for owners.
They put him up £5, Pierre. Now he's off a mark of 65. I mean, he came with a pretty lofty rating, so I mean, the talent, the ability's always been there, and I guess going back up in grade might not affect him too badly.
I don't think it affects him because 2 races ago he had a good run, and it wasn't a clear run for him. And I do think he has a chance.
I mean, one day last season, actually, going back to his record for you, he ran a nice race over this trip under Zach Penn. I think he's only beat about half a length off 71. So I guess that would sort of fill you with a bit of confidence as well.
Yeah, we just, when he got up down to Class 4, we just try to win one and come back up and do it again. You know?
Horses continue to race well. Long may that continue also.
Yeah, as long as they keeping their fitness and healthy, and hopefully can do a bit more.
Well, they get plenty of work, so they're fairly fit, those runners out of the Pierre Ung barn. Chang Glory now we're going to highlight here, Paul. His winning streak has been very good. He's certainly an interesting horse, maybe headed towards the 4-year-old series. Yeah,
well, he's going to have to win a couple more to get there, isn't he? Because he's only up to a rating now of 72, but he's won 4 of his 8 starts. Chang Glory. He's won them off the front. And look, I know they've been sort of slowish paces. They haven't really taken him on. That's Woodfire Bro, who ran really well yesterday in there in second at this stage. And he just sort of ran away a bit at the end. The best part for me, his finishes, how strong he's been through the line. Beauty Fit ran third there. He's been running well. So he's not coming out of weak races by any stretch of the imagination. I think he can win again.
Yeah, 4 wins from his 8 starts, and you think those blinkers have made a huge difference.
Yeah, they have. Once the blinkers went on, he just really focused him. And so you can see Francis has got a few good chances coming up. I think Modest Gentleman's a chance in the first, Noble One likewise. Chang Chen Prince, I think 1,200 are just a little bit query for me. And Chang Chen Glory is a big chance in the last.
Yep, a gold baby there as well with the Universal Pursuit. Moving on to our next replay, and this is Billionaire's Secret. We stay with the Pia Ung theme, and he's back here. I don't think he's the worst. He ran on between runners, Paul. This was the CP Brave race on International Day, where he was very much well rated. What do we make of his chances here?
Yeah, look, I mean, he's the only thing with him is he gets back, so he does need a little bit of luck in the running. But if he does get the pace to suit, I'm not totally sure he's going to. We can see him running on well, and he can see him finishing off this race nice. He was no match for the winner, but he wasn't too far away from second and third.
Obviously, awesome fluke failed there. Nicholson returns placed, and Ensued came out of that race and was able to win on Saturday. Moving on to Flagship Warrior, and he's coming here with the blinkers on. Casper Found's Hugh Bowman, £134 from a wide draw, but he did win from barrier 14 at his debut.
Yeah, and that was over 1,200. He's at the 1,600 metres. He sort of won over all sorts of distances, this horse. He's coming back from this Happy Valley run. I think he's better at Sha Tin because he can stretch out. He's a nice big horse. I'm going to include him. I thought this run wasn't too bad.
Yep, I agree. As long as he can shoulder the big weight here, I think he's a big player in this selections for the last, Paul.
Yeah, I think 4 can win again, Chang Chen Glory, so he's on top for me. To beat Simple Hedge, he steps up to 1,600 for the first time. Jumbo Fortune, we heard from Pierre there, he's going nicely, and Flagship Warrior. But I think the 4 can win again, 4-2-9-1.
Go with Flagship Warrior here. He might come up an okay each-way price as well for Casper Founds and to Hugh Bowman with the blinkers going on. Chang Chen Glory looking to do it again. Billionaire's Secret's not out of it, and good old Jumbo Fortune to run another good race for the stable. 1, 4, 7 and 9. Rightio, we get to at that stage of the show where now, well, Paul, we need some best bets and a play for Boxing Day Tuesday.
Yeah, deja vu here. Chang Chen Glory, we just talked about him. I think he can win. He's won 3 in a row, and just to show you that he's gone really nicely since. This track work from him has been very good. He just stretched out really nicely here with this bit of work. So he's maintained his condition really well, and he looks tough to beat again. And Speedy Smarty, I thought was a better run from him when he went on to the all-weather. He'd sort of lost his way a bit, but it was a good fifth. He was 37-1, so hopefully he's a similar price on Boxing Day as well. I don't think he will be. He might be a little bit half that, but even if he get double figure, I'll be happy. In race 4, we'll do the play Baby Crystal, a first starter Crazy Treasure, and Mr. Good Vibes, a better run from him last time. QQP 1-4-30.
My best is race 5, number 8, Top Scorer. He's a 3-year-old on debut by Shooting to Win out of a helmet mare. John Size and Zach Purton, I think, has been trialling well. Now, this was his trial 2 trials ago. He's had a nice, quiet trial since. He was a little bit slow out and awkward in that most recent one in his prior trial. This one here, he was half a stride slow but went forward. I thought moved well here. Of course, the winner of that trial, Module Construction. Zach Purton, John Size. So he's on debut. A few others on debut in that race. Race 7, number 14, G-Liner is the value. Stick with him. He found some trouble rather last time out. And Kaima with Lucky Gore and Northern Beaches the play. Race 9, horses 4, 8 and 10. Let's have a look at what we've got coming up. Still plenty of racing over the festive season here in Hong Kong. We've got Sha Tin Boxing Day, first race 1 p.m. Friday night at Happy Valley. We've got a card coming out of there, and then of course New Year's Day, and we go racing New Year's Day Monday at Sha Tin for the Chinese Club Challenge Cup Group 3 race with a 10-race card coming up there. So still plenty of racing, Paul, to come. We're a third of the way through the season, and we've got about 3 meetings in the next week.
Yeah, very busy period. But so if you do like something, keep an eye on it because it could come up and back up pretty quickly.
Yeah, can't wait for a Happy Valley as well. Next Friday night, that will be something different. But we look forward to your company Boxing Day Tuesday at Sha Tin for a 1 p.m. start.